Alright guys, hello and welcome. We've got another set from the Alchemy League. This is Platinum Division. We have Emrys, aka Nixishin. I'm going to be saying Nixishin a lot, so just know that that's referring to this Emrys character. Actually, maybe I can do one better. Maybe I can come in here and change his name somehow. Let's come over here to casting, and you guys will know him commonly as Nixishin. Alright, there we go. He is playing as the yellow Japanese, and we have Wizanatic playing as the blue Italians. Let us just take a quick look at these players, just so you guys know where they are. Oops, that's the scoreboard. We don't want to show that. Pause the video to see how everybody's doing, right? Here we go. Alright, this is the right document. So these guys are in the Platinum Division. They're very good. Wizanatic has almost 8,000 games. He loves Age of Empires, and he has a lot to show for it. Look at that. He's a 2K player. Nixishin is not too far behind him, though. About 50 elo behind him. Both of these players actually played in the King of Ireland tournament. And I messaged them, and I said, hey, I know you played in the King of Ireland tournament. And I know the maps were crazy for that one, but they're slightly less crazy for this. What do you say? And they said, oh yeah, sounds good. So we really appreciate these guys signing up for it. Wizanatic is German, I believe, and Nixishin is Russian, I believe. So they are European time zone here. Okay, so let's talk about the Civ matchups. Now that we've established that we have great expectations of these players, Nixishin has built a dock right next to these geese. We've seen people use the trick where you can convert over, like you can kill a goose and harvest the meat and then convert it into fish by right-clicking the fish and then dropping it off. But it may not be worth the micro. I don't know. Wizanatic with 0 seconds of town center idle time. He is fast. Emrys with only 2 seconds of town center idle time. He is also very fast. These guys are good players. They're around 2K. Let's talk about the map positioning a little bit. I really like that Emrys is built up here. I wish the town center were a little bit closer to the wood line, but I think this tree might have been in the way, and he may not have had the time to chop that down. You start with a little bit of extra wood on this map, so you can build a fishing ship right away, regardless of your civilization. Wizanatic already getting loom. What's going on with that? Wizanatic is, of course, a really, really good player. I guess he's getting it because he didn't have food. Got it to help his food economy out. But now he's got to use it, right? Now he's got to do a town center drop or a villager rush, or he's got to do some crazy walling or something like that. I don't know. We'll see. He'll probably just play it safe and do the whole eco approach, but he will have villagers that are loomed now. So he's going to be technically a villager behind Nixishin. Although this says he's a villager ahead, I think it's probably because of fish. Yeah, so I think what happened was Wizanatic went heavier on wood and ran low on food because he was more heavily taking wood, and therefore he didn't quite have the food to make a villager. You can see his town center idle time is going up, so he queued loom instead. But because he was more heavily on wood, he was able to make sure that he could sustain constant fishing ship production. So it's sort of an interesting choice. I don't really know what's better, but I do know that they're tied for villagers now. Nixishin having more actual villager units, presumably, and Wizanatic having more fishing ships. So I guess it's one of 6 of one and a half a dozen of the other, as my grandma used to say. But what it does mean is it means that if Wizanatic is even more heavily invested in water, perhaps this could be an early sign that Wizanatic intends to be very aggressive about water. He intends to win water very quickly because he's got slightly more fishing ships to defend than Nixishin does. Let's talk about the civilizations. Japanese versus Italians. I like these civs. I think these are good civs for this map. I think you'd be hard-pressed. Apart from picking Byzantines, I think you'd be pretty hard-pressed to pick a better civilization for this map. Both of these civilizations have good naval options. The Japanese have extra health on their fishing ships. The Italians have cheaper fishing ships, and they have cheaper dock technologies as well. And the Japanese have more vision on their galleys. So they both have naval bonuses, both economic and military. And they both have good like pushes that are slow but powerful. They both have Nixishin rushing up a house here. They both have, I don't want to say that Italians have a good infantry push, because that's not really their style. I mean, I've seen Italians go like condottieros with some genbos behind it, some bombard cannons, maybe a few monks mixed in there. That's pretty hard to beat. But Japanese halbs are just so insane. And he could mix in some champs too. They attack faster. They just do a ton of damage. Maybe a few onagers in there and a few redemption monks to convert Wisnatic's bombard cannons. These two civs are, as far as I'm concerned, they are equally matched in this situation for like a slow push. I mean, theoretically, Italians get better hussar and could do maybe better raiding, but this is not going to be really a raidable map. Somebody's going to stonewall probably to the edge of this map, and the fight is going to happen in a limited space. So we don't really see a lot of we don't see a lot of cavalry civs on this map. People are not picking Franks on this map. Although I have seen Huns. I've seen Huns because people like to get that scout, go around and pick up all the extra cows, and also scout out where their opponents are. Both players are on their way up to the feudal age. Wisnatic is a little bit faster. He's pop cap though at 20 population or 25 population. Hopefully he remembers to build a house. He's heavily on wood here, and he's gone over to gold. So yeah, we know he's going fire ships here. Where's the second dock? It'd be really fun to give players a free transport ship. Oh, okay. Wisnatic is building his dock for it. I'm looking over here at his base for it, and I can't find it. But this is a very aggressive dock. This is a I am going to push you off of water as soon as possible kind of dock. And he's going into galleys. Okay, so he's chosen galleys. Nixishin might choose galleys. He might go fires. No, he's going to go fires. He probably feels that he's going to be in low numbers here for a while because he hasn't had the time to snowball a galley mass. So he's going to go fires, because fires work better in low numbers than galleys do. But if Nixishin is going to go into galleys, he's going to need a blacksmith to get fletching. I don't see any blacksmith yet from Wisnatic. Not yet. It'll be soon. He's massing the galleys now. He's already got one galley out picking on this fishing ship. Japanese fishing ships do have a lot of health, so it takes a while to get rid of them. I think they've actually got twice the health of other factions' fishing ships, which is just really kind of insane when you think about it. Could you imagine if a civilization had 100 HP villagers, or not 100, 80 HP villagers, because they're at 40, aren't they? I hardly know these sorts of things. You know, I don't really use villagers very much. Okay, Nixishin coming over here with some fire galleys. He's actually going to catch Wisnatic off guard, I think. And that's actually more aggressive than I thought he would be. I thought he would mass up more, but hey, you know, he sees Wisnatic doesn't have fletching yet, so the fletching is going to make a big difference, I think. Let's see. These galleys have 6 base attack, it looks like, and 5 range. This galley's going to get burnt. So the fire galleys, I believe, have 4 pierce armor. So if the galleys have 6 base attack against 4 pierce armor, they're doing 2 damage per shot. But if they get fletching, they deal 3, because it's 7 versus 6 attack. So they're doing, it doesn't sound like a lot, but they're doing 50% more damage per shot, which means that you need 2/3 of the usual number in order to do the same amount of damage. So that's interesting. Nixishin prioritizing sinking those fishing ships. He's not that afraid of these galleys. They have fletching now, so I think he needs to respect them a little bit more. He's going to try to take a good fight here. Okay, he does sink that, and Wisnatic just wants to get a galley mass. I think Wisnatic was not really expecting the fight to be back here. So he's making galleys here, and he's trying to trickle them back to his little fleet. And Nixishin is just eating them up every time they come out of the dock. Oh, he missed that one, though. Wizenatic's going to get away with this one, I think. Nixishin coming around looking for the fishing ships. He really just wants to kill fishing ships. I guess maybe he's not worried about the chaos because he believes that his fishing ships are superior and they will be able to survive raiding. He figures if both players put similar investment into raiding, I'll come out on top because my villagers have twice the hit points. That's how he's looking at it, I think. Wizenatic's blacksmith is here. I believe both players have a pretty good idea of where their opponent is. Yeah, so Wizenatic knows. And let's take a look at Nixishin. Nixishin technically does not know where Wizenatic is, actually. I guess he doesn't care. Doesn't care. He's got plenty of space. He's doing stuff back here. The players like to fish. I'm seeing a lot of fishing, actually. It's very popular. And I guess it makes sense. Fish is a pretty fast food source. So it makes sense that the players would go for that to try to get up quicker. Nixishin, he needs a market so that he can sell some food and click up to the next stage. He's doing well on food. The Japanese fishing ships, of course, working faster. What have we got here? It's like somebody started a palisade wall and didn't finish it for whatever reason. So we've got the fight. We got galleys versus fire galleys. And let's take a look at the Eco KD. You know, Nixishin really coming ahead here on water, which I was not expecting. I saw that Wizenatic was up first, and he was going to be massing galleys, and I assumed that Nixishin would be in deep trouble, but Nixishin cleverly raiding Wizenatic, basically killing all of his fish. So that's why Nixishin has a ton of food, and Wizenatic has none. Wizenatic is going to have to transition into a different food source if he wants to get up to the Castle Age. It looks like he's coming out here to do some fishing with some villagers. I'm assuming this is a mill. Yeah, so he's going to mill some deer and have some shorefish. And we got a tower rush from Wizenatic. Okay, so the tower, actually, this is a smart tower. I know this doesn't look like a smart tower initially to the untrained eye, but remember, we saw Nixishin taking gold here. So now this gold is denied, and Wizenatic coming in with a few archers trying to be a pest. Nixishin is up to the Castle Age, though, so Wizenatic is... This is his moment. He really needs to do a lot of damage now in order to get caught up to Nixishin here. So we still got galley and fire galley fights. Wizenatic, I think, is going to make a comeback here if Nixishin stops investing in water. It seems like Nixishin... Okay, he is still building fire galleys. I think he's just making them sort of defensively to keep his own fish alive. And it makes sense. There's nothing left over here to kill. I guess Wizenatic has made... No, he didn't make this. This is a surviving fishing ship that he forgot about because he couldn't believe that it would survive sort of fishing ships. And, okay, yeah, Wizenatic making the decision to go into farms. So, I think that is a smart decision. He's going to need the food source, and Nixishin has been at large with these fire galleys. But Wizenatic's sinking them finally. So he sinks them. Nixishin is getting fletching. Is Nixishin going to go into galleys himself, or what is he going to do? I'm curious, because I don't see any ranged unit. Wizenatic is harassing Nixishin's stuff over here. Like Nixishin sent the boys to go and shank these archers. And there's more archers over here from Wizenatic. This is a disaster for Nixishin, I think. It's got archers everywhere in his eco. And the thing is that all Nixishin has to do is build another town center, like on the resources that he needs. These archers are getting a lot of... I guess Nixishin shanked them away. He fought them off. Wizenatic is all in feudal, man. He does not have anywhere near the food to click up to Castle Age. He's got 800 wood. So he's really been focused on fighting Nixishin on water, and it looks like he's cleared out many of Nixishin's fishing ships, probably most of them. Appears that Nixishin has built another dock. I don't know how... Alright, well, what is Nixishin doing? He's probably looking for that rogue fishing ship that's going to go sink it. Alright, Nixishin adding another town center here. He is getting the archer armor upgrade. So I think Nixishin's plan is... Oh, okay, he's making skirmishers. He's made skirmishers to clear up Wisnatic's archers. I think that's a good plan, actually. I like that better than archers of his own. I know the Japanese get fully upgradable archers. There's nothing special about them. I guess they're okay in certain situations. Might need archers. But I like skirmishers better. They're a bit cheaper. He's already in Castle Age. What is this? This is a stable. Now that is really weird stuff. Does Wisnatic know about that stable? I don't think he does. Let's make sure that we select Wisnatic's point of view. And let's see if he knows about that stable. No, he does not. So, Nixishin could potentially get a surprise, some surprise knights. And they would be quite powerful. Knights are generally very good against feudal age units. So we got a little jitter from Capture Age. There we go. So Wisnatic, I think, is 1 water. I don't think Nixishin is doing anything more with water. I think maybe he was considering it because there's another dock here. Nixishin built a total of 3 docks. But now Wisnatic has 1 water. And Nixishin is going to have to figure out something else. But Nixishin did a lot of damage on water. He took Wisnatic off of water, killed all of his fishing ships. It shows in the Eco KD here. Wisnatic with another dock. I'm wondering if Wisnatic is going to, because he's got so much extra wood, if he's going to go into fishing ships, but I don't think so. Seems like Wisnatic has been selling his wood, but I could be wrong about that. So Nixishin has some knights in here, trying to get in on Wisnatic's wood line, but Wisnatic quick walling it with a house, and he's going to keep these knights out. Nixishin is going to have to find something else to do with these knights. As soon as Wisnatic gets Castle Age, actually he's Castle Age already, he could build a monastery. Yep, there it is. To deal with the knights. Monks are a great way to punish knights. Knights are a mobile unit, they're powerful and strong, they're general high statistics, but they're expensive, and you pay for a mobility that, in my opinion, you don't really need on this map. Unless your opponent is still in the feudal age, then you could make knights because it's a big power spike, right? I mean, look at this. It's 100 health, 10 attack, and then 2 armor. So it's a good power spike. It's a good way to punish an opponent who is not up yet. But knights are not really long-term a viable unit on this map, in my opinion. Not when monks can basically be anywhere that the knights want to be within a few seconds. So Nixishin is just going to go back to destroying Wisnatic's tower. So he destroys the tower, and he's going to destroy the outpost so that Wisnatic cannot continue to spy on him. And he's still making knights. I don't know about this. He's got some siege. Wisnatic does get redemption. Are we going to see Wisnatic go into redemption to convert the mangonels and push everything back? Yeah, there's no armor on these knights yet, so it's not that huge of a commitment. Siege Workshop coming for Wisnatic. That makes sense. It's cheaper to go into Siege than it is to go into Redemption Monks. But Siege is countered by Knights, whereas Redemption Monks counter literally everything that Nixishin is making. But maybe Wisnatic just wants to get a mangonel out, just to trade, just to slow down Nixishin so that he can do, I don't know, whatever else it was that he planned to do. But I would totally be going pikemen and mangonels and monks in this case. I think this map was kind of made for it. But what do I know? I only made the map. I don't know how to play them. Alright, so we got a few knights here from Wisnatic. And these are mangonel sniping knights. They're nothing more than that. These knights are intended to kill 2 units just to keep them off of his town center. Yeah, so I think Wisnatic built this siege workshop, and then he saw Wisnatic's commitment to knights and decided it was a bad idea. Wisnatic is going to try to get that mangonel. He succeeds with minimal crossbow losses, so that is a good win for him. Nixishin does have a 13 villager advantage over Wisnatic. He's got more town centers. It's 3 town centers versus 1. So is Wisanatic making fishing ships? It appears that he's made at least a couple. He's made at least a couple, and he's got galleys patrolling up here. Nixishin going to try to sneak a dock up, maybe make some fires and sink these fishing ships. We'll see if that works. Based on Wisanatic's... Nope. Wisanatic's patrol detects the dock going up, and they are going to fire upon it. Okay, so we have a castle here from Wisanatic. He wants to build this castle. Nixishin wants to deny the castle, but he can't because there are too many monks nearby. But there is a mangonel coming in. Oh no. Oof. That mangonel could get some juicy shots on the villagers. But there's not really a good way for Nixishin to get in here and attack the villagers. Okay, there he goes. He could delete the barracks, I suppose. He's paying attention. He could flatten some villagers. That'd be my one critique of the game, is that it's like too easy to build buildings underneath your opponent's army. Well, I have many critiques of the game, but that's one of my biggest ones. He's coming in desperately trying to get those two villagers, but this castle is going to go up. And Nixishin is forced to relocate his stone miners and his mangonel. He can't relocate his town center. But Wisanatic, he's going 1 TC. He's holding against Nixishin's aggression. Nixishin's been playing it well, I think. He's not as invested as he could be. Like, he's booming in the back. Whereas Wisanatic is sort of on the back foot, and only now is he adding a second town center. From having lost all of his fish to Nixishin. And Nixishin managed to keep his fish alive for a long time, and they were Japanese fishing ships too, so they worked faster. What is this? Oh, Wisanatic walling out Nixishin, but there's a hole here. And Nixishin's going to come in with this group of knights. What do we got here? A mining camp. Okay, Nixishin is going to take this gold down here. He's also in on Wisanatic. Wisanatic is going to destroy Nixishin's original town center. We got knights running around. Nixishin looking for some damage, but I don't know if he can really find it. There's a lot of archers here, not so many villagers relative to the number of town centers. They're relatively close by. Maybe if he had gotten back here, it would have been different. But he wasn't able to get back there. So, oh no! Nixishin getting horse collar now at 100 villagers. Ouch. I've done that before. I've been like, why are these farms not lasting? Why are they expiring so quickly? And then I'm like, oh shoot, I never got horse collar. So Wisanatic doing well for resources to the Imperial Age. He's going to need to sell some wood and stone maybe, and then he could click up. And he has a castle, so he can afford to click up. Or he has the buildings to click up, rather. Nixishin needs more food and has a lot of extra gold. Okay, monk targeting the knight. His crossbows. He's trying to get a good surround on these crossbows. Is he going to get it here? Ah, that's so annoying. They're uphill. He decides not to take the fight. Crossbows raining some free damage. Wisanatic is on his way up to the next stage. Now, Nixishin could come out here and take these golds. They have more resources on them. There's 3,000 gold between these two tiles and 700 stone. So it's quite good. So Wisanatic, he has a couple knights here that have been pretty good at sniping mangonels. So Nixishin tried the mangonels and it didn't work so great because of these knights here, which is pretty annoying. But he even has monks, but it's not enough monks, I think. All right, so Nixishin has built a castle. He's on his way up to the Imperial Age. Unfortunately for him, his opponent is going to be Imperial Age first and has somewhat of a hill advantage. I'm not sure if Nixishin knew that his opponent has clicked up to the Imperial Age, but he's good enough at the game, he's probably got a sense that his opponent is at least getting close. These knights and archers just running around in the back of Nixishin's base. Nixishin still has a 15 villager advantage, but some of it is idle because of these disruptions. And I guess he'd rather just come over here and attack the castle. Or maybe, oh, Wisnatic building a second castle because he's 15 seconds away from Imp, so why not? So as soon as he hits Imp, we'll see a Trebuchet queued up in this castle. I believe that is because I believe Wisnatic knows about that castle. Yes, he does. So Imp, where's the Trebuchet? Yeah, there it is. So he's getting Chemistry, he's getting Bracer, he's getting Wheelbarrow. So it's going to be Arbalister, which makes sense because he's got a lot of crossbows here. Oh. There we go. Nixishin about 30 seconds away from Imperial Age himself. But Wisnatic with this double castle here, he'll never be able to keep up with Trebuchets. I mean, in theory, if Nixishin just had a little bit more time, I think that this would have been a different game. The Cataparuto Trebuchets could be pretty effective against everything that Wisnatic has. But Nixishin spent a lot of resources on these knights, and I just feel like he didn't get value from them. And I think if Nixishin were to do it again, he would probably make fewer knights. That would be my guess. Alright, what have we got going up here? Archery ranges. So, probably skirmishers. The skirmishers can at least deal with knights a little bit, especially low HP knights that your opponent has not invested in. Nixishin 85 villagers to Wisnac's 89. Wisnatic not using all of his space, whereas Nixishin has basically filled this whole thing up. He even tried building a lumber camp here, but Wisnatic was in the back of his base raiding him. I think that Nixishin could have stonewalled to the edge of the map too, or not the edge of the map, but the edge of the lake. Although neither player did, and I wish that I had when I had done my set with this as the home map. Wow, I guess I was just unfamiliar with the map, despite having made it. So we have castle repairs coming for Nixishin. He's going to run out of stone pretty soon. He's making trebuchets. He's got some knights running around back here, and I think the plan is just skirmishers. He's getting the armor now. Oh, that's interesting. He's gotten the armor before the range and attack, which I'm not too sure about. It might have been a misclick, or there might be some reason that I don't know. There's a lot of Genbos here. And this castle is going to go down. Nixishin cannot keep that castle up. And with the castle going down, Nixishin calls GG, and the first game goes to Wisnatic. So I think the big thing that got Nixishin here was he invested in Castle Age military, and he was already ahead of his opponent, so he could have boomed, and he could have gotten to Imperial Age faster with more villagers and more resources after having won water and after forcing Wisnatic to invest all of this to push him off of water. But he wasn't really that invested in water to begin with, and he had been there long enough that it was worth it. But instead he made all of these knights, and I think these knights cost him the game. Looking at it from 500 feet in the air, spectator match. Both these players are way better at Age of Empires than I am, or ever will be. So it's not really my place to give them advice, but as somebody who saw both sides and the availability of what his opponent has, somebody who plays at a 1300 level, this is pretty much the best that I could make of this. Is Wisnatic with the smart unit composition and choices. He knew that Nixishin was pressuring him. He intentionally did not build many town centers. There's only 2 town centers here. And he just played the slow, long macro game. Whereas Nixishin sort of went aggression and sort of boomed at the same time. And it's like chasing 2 rabbits and losing them both. So, anyway, that's my take on this really good game. I enjoyed watching it, and I'm looking forward to watching the rest in the set. So let's see if we can find the next game. So we're going to go over here to casting. Come on. Oh, maybe we need to go over here to watch replays. Yeah, there we go. All right, so we just finished the first game with Skitchigume, so we're going to watch the next one, which is Comet. So this is one of Nixishin's, or Nixishin chose this map because Wizanatic was victorious on Gichigume. So now we're going to see what he does with it. What his plan is for it. Okay, so Lithuanians versus Portuguese. Interesting. So Portuguese have a fantastic navy. Lithuanians do not. But Lithuanians are still decent on hybrid maps from the sense that you can... You have a really smooth Dark Age with Lithuanians. They start with the extra food. He could do like the Lithuanian Insta-Dock, send all of his villagers out to wood, but it doesn't look like that's what he's doing, because he's taking goose meat right now. So he's probably going to play it normal, just going to have a really smooth Dark Age. Lithuanians are a knight civ though, and Nixishin loves his knights, so probably wants to make knights. Oh, he's laming. Let's go. Guess it makes sense, right? He knows that his opponent is close by. So does Wizanatic know that he's been lamed? No, Wizanatic did not scout that boar yet. So Wizanatic has no opportunity to see this boar running away from his town center. He is none the wiser. So Nixishin is going to steal that boar. So, not only is he Lithuanians and gets extra food from his Civ bonus, he also gets extra food from stealing a boar. Can he steal Wizanatic's other boar? He's probably not going to attempt it. But he comes right across and he helps himself. So this is one of the quirks about these types of maps that are sort of smaller and more aggressive, is that it is easier to lame in these situations. Because you got a pretty good idea of where your opponent is, and there's only a few different places that their boar can be, and so you just walk right across, and the boar's right there, and you just take it, and it's a short distance too. It's not like Arabia in that regard. It is easier to lame on this map than it is Arabia. And plus, Arabia has wolves, and there are no wolves living on this comet. So if you send your villager across, you could even go in without loom. He hasn't even gotten loom yet. And he's bringing in his own boar. Wizanatic finding this boar here. So Wizanatic might know. No, he doesn't. He doesn't see any boar carcasses under Nixishin's town center. So he doesn't know that he was lamed. Maybe Wizanatic studied the map in advance and saw that it's supposed to have 2 boars. Or maybe he believes that the map only has 1 boar. Maybe he does not suspect that he was lamed. We don't know. I haven't seen anything in chat. So Portuguese, pretty standard water civilization. I think they added some kind of Dark Age bonus for the Portuguese, like they collect wood from their berries or something. The Portuguese, while the Portuguese villagers are picking the berries, they're like picking them very aggressively and very sloppily, so that the stems come off with the berries, and then the Portuguese collect that wood and use it to build their buildings. That's my understanding of what's going on here. Okay, so Wizanatic, he's finishing that up. He's built a dock, and he's using the dock to take the box turtles. They're scout fight. They're jockeying here for a hill bonus, but neither player really has a significant advantage. Now, Wizanatic may not know this, but you can actually dock these frozen beach terrains here, and you could be closer to the deep fish that way. No dock from Nixishin so far. So Wizanatic getting loom with the hopes. He's got his fingers crossed that after Loom completes, he'll be able to force drop something off and have enough food to click up, but that is not the case. Because he was lamed. He didn't get that fast food from the boar. Meanwhile, Nixishin is on his way up to the feudal age. Okay, Wizanatic, I guess he's queued more villagers. Yeah, you kind of have to, right? He's got some fishing ships working. I think this sort of slows you down. Like it delays your feudal age, but your eco is bigger once you get to feudal age. So this doesn't help you get feudal age any faster either, but it is an important food source. But Wizanatic is not really choosing to fish these box turtles with villagers, which is an interesting choice. He's very heavily on wood. Oh, poor Wizanatic. He's still not able to click up. He's at 25 pop, so he's thinking, something's not right here. His opponent is going to be feudal age in just a few seconds. We will probably see a stable. 2 villagers to build a stable, and he will go scouts. The good news for Wizanatic, no, he is not going scouts, okay? I had him all wrong. He's going archers. This is a way better choice. If your opponent is stuck in Dark Age, archers are fantastic. Why? Can't keep them out. What are you going to do? Wall behind your walls? There's archers there. Like, if you're Dark Age and your opponent has scouts, Wizanatic is going to be very gratefully taking these geese in. If you're Dark Age and your opponent has scouts, no problem. Just repair the palisade. Just wall behind. But archers? Nah, can't do that. So Wizanatic walling off the front. He does manage, he builds a farm even. He manages to get up. How many does he have on berries? He's got 6 on berries. And then 2 on box turtles, 2 fishing ships, and then a farm. He's going to build a barracks. And he is in big trouble here. Nixishin opening a skirm, actually. He's going to come over here and tower Wizanatic's woodline. This tower would be pretty devastating. There's 2 lumber camps here. So usually what you want to do is you want to spread your lumber camps out in case something like this happens. And see these range units just pecking at these villagers, just making Wizanatic's economy just a little bit not as good. Wizanatic is already kind of struggling. The good news for Wizanatic is that he has a lot of wood. So I think he's going to build a couple of archery ranges initially. Oh no, okay, he's going to build a tower first. He's going to rush this tower up. I think that's actually the better choice. That's smart. He can't afford to lose control of this area. This would be a huge win for Nixishin to get this tower up and deny these lumber camps. And that's actually kind of what he's done. So now there's 2 towers here, but Wizanatic will win this eventually. Because his tower, watchtower, has more villagers in it. And it's closer to other villagers who can repair it and trade off and such. But Wizanatic's still not in a great spot. He's getting horse collar. I'm wondering if Wizanatic intended to go organ guns on this map, if that was the plan. He has made a galley to defend his fish. That is smart. Galley, I don't know how effective the galley is against the skirmishers, but it's pushing them back. Nixishin not committing to that. He's got a couple on stone. He's building a blacksmith. So what is Nixishin's follow-up here? It seems that Wizanatic got a tower up. He's protected his wood line. He's at least walled to the town center over here. I guess this is the next place for Nixishin to attack from. He could come in this way. He could maybe pick on these straggler villagers. He could pick on the gold miners. Or he could try to force his way through this palisade wall. I'm not sure exactly what he'll do. Interesting that Wizanatic is walling to the town center. I think players maybe don't realize that you can wall on top of this terrain. This is not shallow terrain. This is mangrove shallow terrain. Or maybe they do, and it's just too many resources. Maybe it's just like, yeah, I know, but I'd rather just wall to the town center. There's nothing really that I need out here. I've got gold, I've got stone in my walls already, so I'm happy with this. Maybe that's his attitude. And that is a fine attitude to have. skirmishers. Lithuanian skirmishers. I believe that Lithuanian skirmishers are faster than traditional skirmishers, which is why Nixishin is making them. However, Wizenatic has made a scout here, so Nixishin is going to have to find his spearmen wherever it went. He does have some. He's got a spearman here, and he's got a spearman somewhere. Ah, here, okay. So they're both here and here, and the spearmen are working on the walls trying to get in. Nixishin is building another tower, and this tower is on Wizenatic's gold, and that tower makes a lot of sense. It's a good tower. I like that tower. Has he gotten the range upgrade for the skirms yet? I believe so. Yes. I think. Trying to figure it out. Yes. 4+1. That makes more sense. I'm looking at like 2 range. Really? Okay. Yes. So 4+1. So he's got fletching. So this is as far as the tower is going to reach in Feudal Age. So Wizenatic has to take this side of the gold right here. I feel that Nixishin could have built this tower a little bit further forward, but maybe he was concerned that Wizenatic would build a defensive tower. Wizenatic getting fletching himself. Couple of skirms here working on, a couple. They're scouts. Okay, Wizenatic is going Portuguese scouts. He wants to chase these skirmishers off. He sees skirmed, you go scout. These berries have been depleted. These fishing ships are still doing their thing. It doesn't look like Nixishin ever docked. So Wizenatic's galleys are not going to get a ton of value, but they are going to harass a couple of stone mutters, I suppose. So that's still a good deal. Wizenatic got fletching, so his galleys are going to have a little bit more attack and range, importantly. And unfortunately for Nixishin, both of his stones are back here. So he's actually not really going to be able to take stone effectively. He needs to, yeah, he needs to get out of here. He tasks the villagers to work on this side. Alright. That could work. So Wizenatic came in for the repair. It looks like he repaired this. Lost a villager. Still working on it. He has no attack upgrades for the spearmen. So this palisade wall has 2 melee armor and the spearmen have 3 attack. So the spearmen are doing... This is another example of why armor makes a big difference in Age of Empires. The spearmen are doing 3 damage to something that has 2 armor against their damage. So therefore they do only 1 damage a hit. But if Nixishin got forging, then that damage would go from 3 to 4, and against an armor of 2 would be overall 2 damage after armor was considered. So he would be doubling the amount of damage that he would do to these walls over time if he got forging. But maybe it's not worth it to him. He's going to build another tower here. Wizenatic sees it and rushes up a defensive tower of his own. Comes Wizenatic. I guess Wizenatic has made some archers, apparently. Nixishin is over here. He has denied this gold. He does not want Wizenatic taking gold. Makes sense. Okay, Wizenatic is opened up. Nixishin is in. So the question is, was it enough? Now, Wizenatic is on his way up to the Castle Age. And he's on stone. He wants to prevent Nixishin from getting in here, so this is why he's kind of got a quick wall. Nixishin keeps going, though. He's got the skirms. He's committed to his push. There are some archers over here, though. Nixishin's base is not sufficiently defended, I would say. He needs to maybe build a defensive tower on his wood line and then sort of wall it off. Maybe wall off to the town center or something like that. Villagers are coming in to build another tower on Wizenatic's stone. If Wizenatic builds a castle and is able to go into organ guns, that will be very powerful and highly effective against what Nixishin is doing. So Nixishin is here with the skirmishers, trying to get villager kills. Wizenatic knows that he needs to keep this stone. So Nixishin will garrison, try to kill some villagers. But he's got so much army here. I feel like Nixishin could just camp the base of that tower and eventually force it down. Where is Wizenatic's other stone? It's over here. And Nixishin has been keeping an eye on it. Make sure that Wizenatic can't take it. So Nixishin is on his way up to the Castle Age, which is very important because Wizenatic is about to get there, and Nixishin needs to be able to respond and counter the units and technologies available to Wizenatic in that age. So whatever became of Wizenatic's archer attack? Okay, it looks like Nixishin did kind of wall this off, which is good. He's going to need to refresh his lumber camp, I think. But he's not really able to take wood out here, and he's not able to take this stone. So Nixishin getting armor for the skirmishers, and he's just standing there, doesn't care about the tower. Oh, I bet he just did it to give to help out his tower to win the tower war. Does Wizenatic have... No, he did not get Bodkin yet. Here's a scout coming in to attack this. But Nixishin does not notice in time. Oh, Nixishin has towered this. Interesting. He has towered... he has towered Wizenatic's woodline. And so Wizenatic's sending the boys out here to charge down this tower. But Nixishin managing to wall it in mostly, actually. For now, there's just one villager out here. He should have garrisoned it in the tower, I think. Maybe sent lads around. A lot of villagers going down here. Wizenatic using Castle Age stuff like mangonels and knights to fight off Nixishin's feudal aggression. Nixishin's going to have to turn back. He's got 32 villagers compared to Wizenatic's 48. He even lamed him too. Wizenatic is looking really strong this game and really strong for the league in general. Yeah, I'm just trying to think about what Nixishin does next. He's somewhat in danger. I mean, he has some towers, and that'll buy him some time. But I don't know if it buys him enough time. He can't really take stone because of these galleys. Okay, he's going to build a town center on the gold. So I guess he's going to try to turtle up and catch up in villagers. I'd love to see Nixishin go into monks. Monks would be really great. He could convert some knights with the right technologies. He could even convert mangonels. Okay, he looks like he's made a knight. He's going to try to get these mangonels with his own mangonel, but Wizenatic paying attention. He does get one, though. Wizenatic got a return shot, but it was not a direct hit. So it did not destroy the mangonel. What's Wizenatic doing now? Okay, he's coming around. He's going to come around this way and prowl in this area with his knights for a mangonel, I think. Okay, nice. Here's a monastery. I think Nixishin desperately needs this. He really should just build a stone gate here. What happens if these knights get in on his wood line? It'd be very, very difficult to deal with. Oh, actually, you know what? This is closed off. This is still closed. It's not quite an overchop. So he's okay in that regard. I was worried, you guys. I was worried that Wizenatic would just be able to walk right in here. And the game right then and there that we're all enjoying. Oh. So these knights are going to charge this mangonel. He's got some defensive knights, but they're not in position. So they're probably going to get this mangonel. The good news for Nixishin is that Wizenatic is going to... Yeah, he only lost one knight. Wow. Forward castle. This is a good castle from Wizenatic. It largely denies with Nixishin's woodline. Nixishin's going to need to build like a town center on this wood or something like that. He's actually got a dock over here. What's that? He's building demolition rafts. Okay, he's just going to blow up fishing ships. That's smart. All right, Nixishin coming out this way. These villagers are colonists. They are going to start a new life in a faraway land. He thinks that, okay, Wizenatic is not really going navy, so therefore there isn't a huge threat to me building somewhere else on the map. So that's what he's going to do. And I think that's a good idea. All right, Wizenatic getting bloodlines. That's kind of a strange choice. I don't think he's going to be making many knights. And I don't think bloodlines affects the organ guns. But, whatever. He feels that he needs it somehow, so he's going to continue to push. He's going to be making probably lots of organ guns. Wizenatic, and I noticed this in the King of Ireland tournament as well. Of all the players that I've cast, Wizenatic has very, very good macro, probably among the best. Like, if you look at Wizenatic's resources, he's going to have the lowest resource count in general throughout a game, lower than his opponents for the most part. He's good at spending resources, and he's good at making sure that he's got enough villagers on the right resources given what he wants to spend. That's something that I've noticed about him. Oh, no! Nixishin's stone mine is going to be discovered. Wizenatic coming out here for the relics, and he's going to find the stone miners instead. Did he somehow see these villagers going out here? He sees this now. These villagers are going to go down. That's very unlucky for Nixishin. These knights finding this. Nixishin with a very, very aggressive play. Okay, this is a good town center. This is similar to the town center that I was talking about. I think Nixishin desperately needs. It might be a little bit too late for it, though. There's a couple of knights here that are going to get some villager kills. This town center will go up, though. It'll go up before these crossbowmen get over here. Wizenatic wants to get over here and punish this town center as much as possible, but it does go up. So now Nixishin needs to garrison the villagers. Garrison. There we go. Chase off the knights and crossbows. Nixishin's stone mining operation was stopped over here. Castle is firing upon his market. He does have safe gold. But wood is going to be a challenge for him. Okay, he's committing his knights to the defense of this wood line. This makes sense. Wizenatic knows that he can camp like an organ gun here and just completely deny Nixishin's wood income. So it would make sense that Nixishin would commit these knights to to fighting over here. Of all the places that he could send them. So Wizenatic trying to collect relics to make sure that Nixishin doesn't get them. Looks like he's about to have 2 relics. The last of Nixishin's knights have been cleared out. He only has 10 on food. So maybe he's going to get a sneaky Mangonel hit. Wizenatic going... yes, he is. That's a good hit. Wizenatic sees it. He still gets 2 more. That was good value out of the Mangonel. So Wizenatic is tired of dealing with Mangonels, so he's just going to get redemption. Just convert them. Nixishin starting to make some more monks. It looks like he's got 2 monks. Okay, here's a castle drop. Certainly Nixishin will see these villagers coming forward. Knight's going to try to kill the Mangonel. Oh, the Mangonel gets converted. The conversion of that Mangonel will allow the castle to go up for Wizenatic. This castle goes up, I think it'll be GG. Nixishin building a counter castle, deleting those houses. He's gonna need to get fletching if he doesn't have it already. He needs a range upgrade. What does he have? He needs Bodkin. Nixishin needs to buy 100 food right now and get Bodkin, and even then it's probably going to be too late. Because he can't quite reach the villagers building the castle, which is very unfortunate. His castle will go up, but he can't reach the villagers building the castle. If he had had Bodkin, he probably would have denied that castle, which is some pretty bad luck. Nixishin's mangonels are getting converted. Wizenatic is everywhere. I think the game is pretty close to being over. Wizenatic with quite the comeback, I've got to say. I did not see that coming. But he made good choices. Yeah, and Nixishin calls the GG. There's pretty much nowhere left for him to take wood. So Wizenatic is up 2 games against Nixishin. They were both really good games. I think they were close games, in my opinion. They were close and competitive games. These guys are worthy opponents for each other. But Wizenatic's 9,000 games of experience showing, making good decisions. So let's get into the final game here. It is okay, yeah, it's Wasteland. Okay, so we are on Wasteland. We've got Wizenatic versus Nixishin, Cumans versus Magyars. An interesting choice, Cumans, for this map. You know, somebody could do the fast Cuman feudal age and build that second town center. You know what? I'm going to make a prediction right now. My prediction is that Wizenatic will go fast feudal age as Cumans and build a town center either here, here, or here. That's my prediction. And Nixishin, I'm assuming Nixishin is going to do some kind of lightning scouts build. Maybe Nixishin is going to come across and try to lame Wizenatic again, but I don't think so. He's not acting like it. He's acting like he just wants to get his own resources first. And you do start with a Bactrian camel, so you don't necessarily need your scout to find all of your own resources. So we'll keep an eye on Nixishin to see if he does that. Okay, taking his first boar. Here he comes. The scout. This is Wizenatic's Bactrian camel. They have speed of 1.2. I'm not sure about the scout cavalry. Maybe we could hover over it and it would tell us the speed. Here it is. Yeah, 1.2. So they're the same speed. This is before Bloodlines, though, or before any civilization bonuses. So the Cumans haven't gotten speed bonus yet, because it's not yet feudal age. And Wizenatic with the early walls. Interesting. He's going to take this rhino here, and then he could even wall from here to here, or he could wall across here. So it makes sense to take this rhino before walling it out. Take this rhino before this elephant. Wizenatic with 0 seconds of town center idle time, and Nixishin with only 6. So this map has no water on it. It's quite nice. You don't have to worry about all that galley micro, you guys. Not that I don't like galley micro. It's just I like stuff that's different. So we've got a mill before a lumber camp. Pay notice to that. All right, so Nixishin is here. I don't think he's going to steal the boar, but he is going to mess with the villagers trying to take the boar. He's going to mess with, and they're not loomed either. So he's going to see that this villager wants to take this boar. And Wizanatic, he shoots. Nixishin goes back. He's going to try to force Wizanatic to get... Oh, the boar actually does more damage than the scout. He's trying to de-aggro the boar, but it does not succeed. So he is annoying, and Wizanatic is a little bit late. So Wizanatic with 5 seconds of Town Center idle time because of that. Poor Wizanatic. Although, me and my Pleb 1300 build order, I would already have like 50 seconds of Town Center idle time by now, without such harassment. Maybe not 50, but more, at least 15. Okay, so Wizanatic built a mill before a lumber camp, and that tells us that he is planning on a lightning feudal age. We're looking at 20 pop here. The camel does not contribute any population space, so although 2 plus 19 is 21, it's technically 20 pop. And Nixishin, as Magyars, he is doing what? He is doing a 17 pop scouts build. Yikes! I guess you can. You get an extra boar on this map, so it shouldn't be that hard. I just looked over in my... What's up with the screen resolution, huh? Oh, no. Well, I guess I'll just have to try to recenter it here. I don't know. Is it just me, or does it look like it's not properly formatted? That is bizarre. I'm not sure why it did that this time. I will have to check. I just realized that now. Has it been doing this the whole game too? It's all just stretched out like that, really strangely. To go and check that later. Okay, so Wizanatic is up. Nixishin is up. Nixishin getting double bit axe. He's building the stable. Wizanatic scouts it, so Wizanatic knows that it is coming. So he's aware of the stable. He knows. So where is it going to be? Aha! I told you. I told you. I said it was either going to be here, or here, or here. And so Wizanatic, seeing the same thing that I saw, he was able to narrow it down better than I could. But this makes a lot of sense because it's more forward, and he knows he has a little bit of time to get it up. He's pretty confident in his ability to secure this gold back here. This is Nixishin's Bactrian camel, though, keeping an eye on Wizanatic's gold. So this town center secures berries, it secures wood, it secures stone, so it makes a lot of sense. I like these civilizations for this map. They are mobile civilizations. You want mobile civilizations on this map. This map mobility is very important. Alright, so we're going to see a military building. I'm assuming that this is a barracks. I wish that Wizanatic had just walled this across here. He may not have... Well, no, he probably scouted it, but he's just timid. He's afraid of those scouts. No, he does not know that there's a stone here blocking off most of this, or forest. Oof. That is unfortunate for Wizanatic. He's kind of giving away this space here. Yeah, he could have just walled this. Now, is Nixishin going to get in? He's coming. He's coming, you guys. I think he's going to get in. Oh, this is going to be so bad for Wizanatic. Because Nixishin will never leave him alone over here. Okay, there is a spearman. He gets a villager kill. He heads back. The villager's coming to finish the wall off. There's another Wizenatics, or another Nixishin scout in here, and I think he just ran under the town center, actually. So it's not so bad, I suppose. Just going to unite his scouts. Wizenatic doesn't want to deal with it, so he's just going to build the house. And he is going to be fully walled here. So Nixishin getting a villager pickoff. Wizenatic is ahead in villagers, though, because he's got 2 town centers making them. So even with 2 town centers to keep busy, he has less town center idle time than Nixishin does. Nixishin coming forward with the tower. I love it. The tower is a great idea. Takes Wizenatic off of this wood. He could probably even build the tower like right here and take Wizenatic off of that wood as well. He has the scouts to protect the tower building villagers. So short of Wizenatic making a bigger investment in spearmen, Wizenatic can't really stop this. He's building... Alright, Nixishin is building an archery range. This makes a lot of sense. He could build a couple skirmishers to deal with pikemen, or rather spearmen, I should say. He's also keeping an eye on this wall off here. Do not believe that Wizenatic knows about that range yet. No, he does not. Because Nixishin is sort of keeping him on his toes, dancing around here. I appreciate that Nixishin is playing highly aggressive here in Feudal Age. Alright, here it comes for the tower. I predict a tower. Oh no, that's actually a very passive tower. I would think he would build it further forward. I guess that's okay. If he builds the tower there, Wizenatic isn't going to see it. Yeah, Wizenatic can't see that tower. So it will be up before Wizenatic can do anything. And Wizenatic can't really counter tower it. He could maybe build a tower slightly in range, but it would be very difficult. He wouldn't be able to... He's got limited space to build it. He wouldn't be able to get many villagers around it. I think Nixishin is just... He keeps on adding scouts. He's got 1 scout here, and then... Yeah, he's still building scouts. He's building up scouts to the point where he can just run in. He's, of course, got the attack upgrade for free because Magyar, and it looks like he's going to try to make his move here and get in. Okay, so this tower goes up, forces Wizenatic to build another tower, or a tower, rather. And the tower isn't the best, but I do think he's going to get it up. Nixishin wants in on Wizenatic. Look at this. He's going to start attacking the market, probably. He'll get these walls down, and then Wizenatic will have to repair the market. The market is here to help Wizenatic rebalance his economy. Maybe get Castle Age sooner. Man, this is a lot of damage to the market. I mean, look at it. Market's already at 1400 health, and Nixishin's only been attacking it for a few seconds. He's got a few skirmishers in here to interfere with the repair process of these villagers. And Wizenatic is building another tower. Well, Nixishin has been careful not to run in, which I find interesting. Like, could you imagine if he ran in and got in on this gold or something? I guess Wizenatic does have a lot of spearmen, and these spearmen would not be able to follow, or these skirmishers that are protecting the scouts from spearmen wouldn't really be able to follow. So I think Nixishin is going to tear this market down. That's so funny. Wizenatic just barely clicking Castle Age here. He does get the tower up. No, he manages to keep the market up at 130 HP. Wow. Nixishin is already on his way up to the Castle Age, though. I'm assuming that he's got a big honking... Well, sort of. Sort of has a big honking Scouts eco here with lots of farms, I guess. So he'll be able to go into Knights immediately. I think this map is all about camels, and Cumans do get camels, but they don't get heavy camel. So maybe in the late term, Cumans will be at a disadvantage. Okay, Wizanatic going into stables. He's got 65 villagers to Nixishin's 38. But Nixishin has way more military than Wizanatic. But Nixishin's military is going to become obsolete when Wizanatic hits Castle Age. Unless Nixishin gets like the light cav upgrade and like he really invests in them with upgrades and he gives them support units like knights and other units, which I think he should try to do. Wizanatic coming over here to repair this house. Nixishin is not going to get in quite yet, although his scouts do have the second attack upgrade. So Wizanatic managing to keep this house up as well. Light cav upgrade has been queued, and Nixishin has to withdraw here. So Wizanatic with the resources and Nixishin with and the villagers and Nixishin with the map control. He has built another tower. Wizanatic has counter-towered. He's getting bloodlines. So he's got light cav that's in. And he's built one knight from the look of it. I don't really know if he's planning on making many more. He's pretty all in here. He's only got 41 villagers. Just can't seem to hurt Wizanatic. Couple camels chasing him away. Light cav taking a bad fight. What's the plan now for Nixishin? Is he making villagers? Nope, no villagers. Is he making something? Alright, he's making knights. Wizanatic building a forward castle. Nixishin adding another town center. Oh, interesting. Nixishin wants to build a town center over here. That's funny. I don't really know that Nixishin really controls the map anymore. Seems like Wizanatic has enough units out that he could deny this town center if he knew about it, or at least he could raid it incessantly and prevent Nixishin from getting value out of it, and in fact making it a counterproductive town center. Wizanatic, he partially came in, but I guess he changed his mind and decided not to. Nixishin with the small wall here to his woodline. These are steppe lancers. They have excellent range. You can't wall them out with palisades because they can sort of reach around them or past them or through them somehow. And he takes Nixishin off of gold. The score here looks really good for Wizanatic. Nixishin just was not able to do the damage with all his investment in scouts. Wizanatic is still on 2 town centers. He could actually cook up to Imperial Age, especially since he has this castle. And I think that's what his plan is. No, his plan is to just win before that point. So GG, Wizanatic with a 3rd win against Nixishin, but they were good games. I think that they were very competitive games. The shortest one was actually the last one. And that was just by nature of the fact that on Desert Void it can sometimes be hard to get in on your opponent and do damage because the wood lines are so huge, even though there isn't anything else out here. So it was really fun to watch this set. Appreciate the players playing in Alchemy League and lending their 2K-ish talents to our humble community. And I've got a few more sets to cast. I'll try to cast at least one more today. I really appreciate all of you guys tuning in as well, and hopefully I will see you again soon.